Meredith Gorman here in the PNC Bank Sports Corner, joined by Zack Cox, who's over at Gillette Stadium. Day 2 of training camp just wrapped up. And Zack, what do you have for us today? How did it look out there?
Well, obviously, as is going to be the case throughout this training camp, the real spotlight was on Cam Newton and Mac Jones, the two competitors in this Patriots quarterback competition. I thought Mac Jones looked a lot sharper than Cam Newton early on in practice, especially during this 7-on-7 period. Really showed good anticipation, got the ball out quickly, was making his reads a little bit more decisively than Cam Newton. But as was the case with some of Jones's practices back in the spring, he really faded at the end. He had a pretty poor close to practice. He only completed 2 of his final 9 passes, had a couple clear misfires to Jacoby Myers during that span. And on the other hand, Cam Newton really finished this practice strong. He went 5 for his last 6, had a couple touchdown passes in there at the end. And really during the most kind of competitively spirited period of this practice, Cam certainly looked a little bit more capable than Mac Jones. Obviously, very early, way too early to draw any conclusions from this quarterback competition, but that's what I saw out there from those two guys today.
Now, I know you mentioned it's still very early, but the Patriots brought in some tight ends this offseason. Have you made any observations about them on the field so far?
Yeah, it's actually been a kind of a quiet camp so far for both Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. I believe Jonnu Smith has caught 1 pass in team drills in each of these first 2 practices. Hunter Henry came on strong late. He caught 2 of those Cam Newton touchdown passes that I was mentioning earlier. I believe it might have actually been Cam Newton's final 2 throws of the day. Both went to Hunter Henry for touchdowns. I think it's still a bit of a working in period. Obviously, this is a very difficult offense for players to learn, even veteran players like Smith and Henry. And I think we're going to see more of them together in the ways that the Patriots are going to be able to use those 2 tight end sets that they used to use to great success back in the early 2000s. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that moving forward. But yeah, definitely a bit of a quiet start from both of those 2 newcomers.
And the Patriots, of course, easing into training camp. Any word yet on when the pads will come on and we'll see the players really get in action out there?
According to Bill Belichick, that will be Tuesday. The Patriots will practice in shells the next 2 days, which is kind of soft shoulder pads. They'll probably have an off day on Sunday. And according to Bill Belichick, that is Tuesday. And I know a lot of the bigger players, especially a lot of those defensive front 7 players, really excited to get those pads on because there's really only so much those type of guys can do in these non-padded, non-contact situations. So that's when the real competition and the real excitement is going to start up next Tuesday.
Awesome. Well, day 2 of training camp in the books, and Zack Cox joining us. Thanks again, Zack.
Thank you.